And the Yeats poems, I think, fit pretty well. It's a pleasure to be tired. I'll take tea with milk, my friends, and I'm off to bed. The satisfactory thoughts from a summer traveling are in my head. And I'm glad of milk with tea and good company, and that one who roamed with me to Ireland is she, to the lake at Innisfree, and I am left to laugh and cry and muse about a county Sligo fantasy. Habits on the road, the likes and loves we cultivate and grow in them. How we delight conversations at night round rough wood tables, making friends, whiskey in our tea that makes good company, and that one who roamed with me to Ireland is she, to the lake at Innisfree. I am left to laugh and to cry and muse about a county Sligo fantasy. I will arise and go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin build there, of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have, a hive for the honeybee, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the crickets sing. Here midnight's all a glimmer, noon's a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet wings. I will arise and go now, for always night and day I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. When I stand upon the roadway and on the pavement's gray, I hear it in the heart's deep core. And I'll thumb down one more lorry, hear just one more story. She heard the special callings in the Irish landscape, making a grand tour, grand escape. When I'm left low, I know what cold winds bode. She's gone off to follow her higher road. had I the heavens embroidered cloths, and wrought with the golden and the silver light, the blue and the dim and the dark cloths of night and light and the half-light, I would spread the cloths under your feet. But I, being poor, have only my dreams. I have spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly, because you tread on my dreams. To Ireland is she here, to that lake at Innisfree. I'm left to laugh and cry, muse about a county Sligo fantasy.
One I wrote a few years ago when my brothers and I came to sell the family house that my father had renovated quite extensively in the 70s, so it was quite a wrench to sell it because it still had a lot of him about it. So I wrote this song to keep it in our memory, and it's called This House. My father built this house back up to what it once had been. Raised the roof, tore out the guts, a home for us, his dream. A lick of paint he had in mind, but a year it took from him. And the concrete floor still hadn't dried the day he moved us in. This house recalls where games were played, fights were fought and love was made. Everything we ever did, these solid walls retained. Now it's just me here alone, I think back to those days long gone. Bittersweet the thought that time can never be replayed. My parents stayed for 40 years, kids gone to live their lives. Ups and downs they went through here, never left each other's side. When the stroke came in the night, it was here it cut Dad down. 4 years it took for him to go, yet still he's all around. This house recalls where games were played, fights were fought and love was made. Everything we ever did, these solid walls retained. Now it's just me here alone, I think back to those days long gone. Bittersweet the thought that time can never be replayed. These walls are now an empty shell, the lifeblood mostly gone. Soon the time will come to sell and pass the baton on. For we are not the only ones with memories that remain. Before us families called this home, and others will again. This house recalls where games were played, fights were fought and love was made. Everything we ever did, these solid walls retained. Now it's just me here alone, I think back to those days long gone. Bittersweet the thought that time can never be replayed. My father built this house back up to what it once had been, a nest for us to grow up in, and all too soon to leave. you very much. I haven't sung that one in a while. I don't know why it came to me that I wanted to sing that one tonight. So I've just brought out a CD of 15 songs that I recorded here in my log cabin studio. Well, I call it a log cabin. It's not really a log cabin, but it feels like that to me. So it's called, fortuitously, I'd already written a song called Cabin Fever before the pandemic. So it seemed like the right title for a CD of songs recorded in lockdown. So this is the title track, Cabin Fever. Sweet times, life is good. Smell of fresh cut firewood. Doors closed, warm inside. You right here by my side. Here we are, a case of cabin fever. I never want the two of us to leave here. This cabin built for one's become a cozy nest for two. And cabin fever never felt the way it feels with you. Logs burn, flames leap high. I look at you and breathe a sigh. Pinch myself, is this real? Loving how you make me feel. Here we are, a case of cabin fever. I never want the two of us to leave here. This cabin built for one's become a cozy nest for two. And cabin fever never felt the way it feels with you. Not saying I'm stir crazy, ain't feeling trapped inside. But when you hold me through the night, my temperature starts to rise. Fever. Morning breaks, snow lies deep. We could be here another week. Make more love, drink more wine, living life on a cabin time. Here we are, a case of cabin fever. I never want the two of us to leave here. This cabin built for one's become a cozy nest for two. And cabin fever never felt the way it feels with you. No, cabin fever never felt the way it feels with you. Thank you very much. This is another song that's on the Cabin Fever CD. So I just wanted to show Carolyn. You say you used the capo for the first time. I used 2 capos on this song. A bit greedy with my use of capos. This is a partial capo, and so this is a song about my rather nomadic lifestyle, or inspired by it. I'm living in Glastonbury in Somerset in England now, but I lived in Austin, Texas for 10 years, and various points through my life. I feel I'm probably in Glastonbury for the long haul now, which is great. But so this song is called Trail of Goodbyes. life's been a trail of goodbyes. Born on the road, always lived on the fly. Ain't one to stay around too long. Sooner or later, it's time to move on. I've traveled the East Coast, I've lived way out west. High in the mountains, my soul found some rest. I've sprawled in a mansion, scraped by in a shack. 2 years in a trailer, I'll never get back. This life's been a trail of goodbyes. Born on the road, always lived on the fly. Ain't one to stay around too long. Sooner or later, it's time to move on. Don't think I'm jealous of you. Your 4-bedroom prison would just never do. Don't think that I'll change in good time. I'll always be walking this trail of goodbyes. Yeah, I'll always be walking this trail of goodbyes. Nine to 5 in the city, relaxed on the coast. Moved far from all people, crushed in way too close. Explored distant places, 6 months had no home. Shared rooms with strangers, struck out on my own. This life's been a trail of goodbyes. Born on the road, always lived on the fly. Ain't one to stay around too long. Sooner or later, it's time to move on. Yeah, sooner or later, it's time to move on.
And I'm breaking the ice, so bear with me. right. By the visual, it sounds like everything's working all right. This is wonderful. I've been wanting to find a group like this for a long, long time. And I, too, stumbled into a meetup. And when it said you guys were a bunch of singer-songwriters from Ann Arbor, I just said I had to get here. It took me 2 years to get here. And tonight, I wasn't even sure I'd make it. So what a great night to be around, like company, like-minded people. I guess I'll do Sand Touches Sea again.
We should mute.
Have you ever wondered how life could suddenly sneak up and slap you in the face? It makes me kind of wonder of the time and place I've given to myself between all the falls I've had since I've known you. When I was lost so bad that I just could not see, I took a chance to call you just to say you've been such a good friend. Knew that you would listen, hope that you would there, trusted you would care for me. And now I rejoice like sand touches sea. Oh, the waves that once have crushed so hard on me. And now I know that life has such a unique way of calming every storm, bringing on its own naked, splendid, mystifying, brand new day for me. I just didn't know how people that I loved could drive me to the ground, not knowing I'd be driven into the ground. But I was bound to fall for you. And now I rejoice like sand touches sea. Oh, the waves that once crushed so hard on me. But now I know that life has such a unique way of calming every storm, bringing on its own a naked, splendid, mystifying, brand new day for you and me. Now I rejoice that journey beyond that expression. We're just friends. One look into your eyes and no, we're not just friends. One look into your heart and no, there's no pretend. We bade our goodbyes, the price that justified emotions nullified, a naked, splendid, mystifying, brand new day for you and me. And I rejoice like sand touches sea. Oh, the waves that once have crushed so hard on me. And the ocean was crushed so hard on me. And now I know that life has such a unique way of calming every storm, bringing on its own a naked, splendid, mystifying, brand forth from thee.